Well, hello once again, my friends, my fellow historians, and my fellow ocean liner lovers. In particular, my fellow lovers of the SS United States. I'd like to welcome you to another video. It's been a little while since we updated the docket, but I'll get to that in a minute. Right now, we're looking at a live shot of the beautiful SS United States in Mobile, Alabama. And Fox 10 actually has a live camera on the harbor. From time to time, they zoom in on the ship, and you can see the little dark areas at the front smokestack at the base of it, and I think they're almost like perforating it, so it'll be easier to cut off when the time comes, but I'm not quite sure. That's just speculation. But you can see the way she looks right now. She's still in one piece. So as of June 12th, 2025, she's looking beautiful, and she's in the Bay of Mobile, Alabama. So that's the ship, and let's take a look now at the actual docket. The court docket had a few updates. The last video that I had done for you guys was May 29th, and it was a consent motion for extension of time to file the motion to dismiss. And on May 30th, that motion was actually approved. So that was the 21st document in the docket. And that was until June 11th. So as of yesterday, June 11th, there was another update to the docket. Document number 22, the memorandum in opposition, Re-16 motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim, and incorporated memorandum of law filed by New York Coalition to Save the Steamship United States Incorporated. And that was filed by James Maloney. And again, this is Florida Northern District Court with M. Casey Rogers, the judge, presiding. When we take a look at that document now, actually, I just want to go over really quickly the approval. So this is document number 21. Document number 21, United States District Court of Northern District of Florida, Pensacola Division. And all this basically is the referring Judge M. Casey Rogers on May 30th of 2025, the motion for a 1-week extension of time to file the opposition to the defendant's motion to dismiss. And it was granted, and it was unopposed. On consideration, the request is granted. Plaintiff's deadline to respond to the defendant's motion to dismiss, ECF number 16, is extended until June 11th, 2025. Done and ordered on May 30th, 2025, M. Casey Rogers. So that is, I just wanted to show that to you. So now we actually move to the latest documents, and that would be document number 22. So when we look at that, again, that's the New York Coalition to Save the Steamship United States Incorporated. The plaintiff in Okaloosa County, Florida, is a defendant. Again, this is case 325 CV 00212-MCR-HTC. The memorandum of the law in opposition to defendant's motion to dismiss. And this is a pretty long document. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you guys. I'm going to go over the table of contents. We have the preliminary statement. We have the introduction and the summary. We have the justiciability. We have the standing. We have Section 106 of the NHPA. We have the further amendment. And we have the conclusion. So I want to share the preliminary statement with you. This memorandum is respectfully submitted in opposition to defendant's motion, document 16, for an order dismissing the amended complaint, document 12, which SI, the operating pleading, have superseded the complaint, document 1, that was filed on March 2nd, 2025. while the subject vessel was en route from Philadelphia to Mobile. And then when we go down, and I want to just go over the conclusion with you, so it's like a summary of everything. The conclusion: for all of the foregoing reasons, the defendant's motion to dismiss this action should be denied, and this court should grant the plaintiff such additional relief as it is just and proper. Respectfully submitted on this 11th day of June 2025, James M. Maloney, plaintiff. So the certificate of service: I hereby certify that a true and correct copy of the foregoing has been electronically filed with the U.S. District Court. And basically, James Maloney is complying with Rule 7.1F, also the certification that this memorandum contains 5,400 words, excluding the case style and certifications. So basically, there's a lot of wording in this, and the statement, the introduction is pretty long, but I think it's important to read to you guys. So when it comes to the introduction and a summary of what this document actually is, from a historic preservation perspective, this lawsuit is of national importance, crying out for judicial review, which plaintiff is now seeking from this honorable court, which in turn cite as a court of equality, maritime, and admiralty matters such as this, as more fully appears herein. The County of Okaloosa is planning and destroying the SS United States, a ship on the National Register of Historic Places, when there had apparently been no compliance with the National Historic Preservation Act, NHPA, which in turn requires a public historic preservation process to occur prior to substantially altering the ship. Okaloosa County has begun and is continuing to make substantial alterations to the SS United States in Mobile, Alabama, where the ship is currently docked. The county is a public entity and has a legal and moral duty to comply with the basic historic preservation laws, and in the motion papers, the county refers repeatedly to the SS United States as its tangible property, making no reference to any responsibilities with respect to this historically significant ship. Rather than having to explain what, if anything, is done to comply with the NHPA, the county would like this matter to simply be dismissed without any discovery whatsoever concerning its efforts to comply with the NHPA. Plaintiff humbly asks this court to require the county to answer the most basic questions regarding its lack of compliance with the NHPA before the ship is destroyed forever. The following unanswered questions come to mind. Has the county yet been contacted by a government agency about the NHPA Section 106 historic preservation process? If so, when? If the county has not been so contacted, is it aware of any duty to comply with the NHPA? Plaintiff is engaging in public interest advocacy, which has only been required because the county has thus far refused to disclose publicly the most basic question to which the general public is entitled to have answers. Dismissing this case as such an early stage with no discovery deprives the public of the most basic right. We ask that this court assist us in ensuring compliance with the NHPA before the ship is destroyed. On March 11, 2025, a telephonic Local Rule 7.1b attorney conference was held among two attorneys for the county, Elmer Ignacio and Matthew Schad. One of the founding members of the coalition, who is an attorney, James Kaplan, and one who is not, John Quadrosi. Another attorney who is volunteering his time and effort to this matter is Daniel Burke, and the undersigned. The conference was held preliminary to possibly motion seek an interim equality relief, which the coalition has not made, and before the initial pleading was amended to add allegations relating to the NHPA. The day after the conference, the undersigned sent a detailed summary of the conference to the opposing counsel, which was received without objection or request or amendment. In it, a list of substantial points discussed, including 4 National Historic Preservation Act considerations raised by Daniel Burke, Esquire, which contained the following footnote. Section 106 of the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966 requires that any action that would be threaten the future of the federally funded historical object be reviewed by the applicable federal agencies to determine what the best course would be to protect the historical object, with mitigating actions possibly taken to counter any adverse impact on the historical object. The design and construction of the subject vessel was in part funded by the United States, and the vessel is listed in the United States National Register of Historic Places, reference number 990000609. The Coalition acknowledges that there are no allegations relating to the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966 in the complaint, but has raised this point as part of a broader discussion about the fate of the vessel and the county's deputy as a public entity to the United States and to the American people as a whole. See complaint at 46. The county has been aware of the compliance of the NHPA, and the county's duties have been the concern of the plaintiff since some 9 days after the action was commenced, and well before the complaint was amended to add allegations about the NHPA. So that's basically an introduction and a summary to this document. So there's an attachment to this. This is an excerpt. And when we take a look at this document now, this is listed as Exhibit A, and this is document 22/1, and this is filed on June 11th of 2025. Why did the SS United States Conservancy partner with Florida's Okaloosa County to convert America's flagship into the world's largest artificial reef? The legal conflict with the operators of Pier 82 in Philadelphia drastically impacted the Conservancy's plan for the ship's long-term future. Because of the court proceeding, we had a very limited time to find a new home for the SS United States. Despite intense outreach to private pier owners, government agencies, elected officials, and public authorities at the local, state, and federal levels, an effort that began well before Penn Warehousing sued the Conservancy in early of 2022. No suitable and available location was secured within the mandated schedule. While with the vetted various entities with proposals to purchase and relocate the ship, none satisfied our minimum due diligence or proved viable within the compressed timetable and logistical constraints. Unable to save the SS United States in her current state, and under a court-ordered deadline, we faced the painful but unavoidable choice between scrapping America's flagship or converting her into an artificial reef in tandem with a land-based museum. We chose the latter. A more dignified path as part of the settlement that resulted from court-ordered mediation. The SS United States Conservancy agreed to the sale of America's flagship to Okaloosa County, Florida, which in turn facilitated her removal from the pier to comply with the court's order. While this is not the outcome we originally envisioned, the ship will have a future. This next chapter of the SS United States story will bring tens of thousands of people annually from around the world to experience her as an artificial reef and celebrate it and commemorate it in a land-based museum. And it shows a link on the bottom. And when you click on that link, it takes you to the SS United States Conservancy. And this is the statement where they're talking about the Conservancy frequently receives a wide range of inquiries and supporters. So what they got was actually information, a statement from the Conservancy in regards to the ship. So that was basically the documents. It was updated on June 11, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So as of right now, my friends, that's where we stand. Today is June 12th of 2025. The docket was updated on June 11th, and we'll just wait to see what happens next. And if there are any more changes to the docket, update to the ship or the condition of the ship, then I'll let you guys know. As usual, I very much appreciate you watching my videos. And until my next video, Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.